All right, welcome back, everybody. In September of this year, communications professional Ruby Basse was involved in a car accident that left her immobile for around about 3 months. On her road to recovery, she no longer needed her wheelchair and walker, which she has subsequently donated. It was the immense gratitude of the recipient that made her realize how the things we take for granted can be a real game changer for others. Now she has started Wheels to Hope, a campaign to call on the community, especially those who have these items lying around at home, to donate them to those who really, really need them. All right, so they're in studio with me, and she's joined by Gloria Nechandama, who is from Lerato Stimulation Center, and of course, there is Ruby. Good to have both of you. Welcome to Morning Live.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ruby.
Thank you. Awesome being here.
All right, Ruby. So talk to me about this accident of yours.
Yeah.
What happened?
Sure. Okay. 21st of September, on Sunday morning, decide to go to church with a friend of mine. My 9-year-old says, "Mommy, can I come with?" And as we drive out, cartoons got the better of her. She decides to stay at home, drive off to church. All I remember is I'm sitting in the car, playing with my cell phone because I was a passenger.
Okay.
Responding to text messages, and the next thing, my friend who was driving starts screaming. So as I look up on our lane, there's a car,
Driving straight
it's
to
driving
you.
straight into
Oh,
us at
no.
that moment. So I remember that much. I remember, waking up a few seconds or minutes thereafter, I can't even remember, and all I saw was, people around and, just asking, "Are you fine?" Just people willing to assist and to help. And the next I remember is being flown to hospital, and that was just as much of it that I could remember at the time.
It's devastating. I mean, it's any accident is devastating.
It was crazy.
It really, really is. Now, you started let me first ask Gloria now. Tell me a little bit more about this, the Lerato Stimulation Center in Tembisa. What is that all about?
Okay. Firstly, I would like to say thank you for this opportunity. I would like to thank God for the whole thing. I've been blessed by a disabled child. She's now 3 years, 6 months. And after being in the stigma, the rejection, and all those negativity, I decided to help the kids and the mothers with the kids with disability.
Okay.
So I decided to say, let me just start this crash. And after a while, I saw it that I have to stop this thing of not mixing the kids, because at the olden days, we used to don't mix. Even now, we don't mix together with the disabled kids.
Yeah.
So I decided to say, let us mix them together so that they must accept each other. The able one, they must know that
disabled.
Yes, they are this kind of kids.
Yeah.
So I started the crash, and
And it's doing well.
Yes, and I would like to say thanks to the mothers, those who brought the abled ones, so that they can be mixed. It's still we still have a stigma, especially us, the Africans, the mothers. They still hiding the kids. But I know that when I started this organization, I said enough is enough. They must come out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Lovely. Just give me a sense of the mix. So you've got how many disabled children and how many able-bodied children?
As a result, the organization started at June.
Yeah.
As a result, I'm still having 3 of them, mine and the other 2 kids.
Okay.
Yes, and 8 of the ables.
Okay.
Yes.
So 3 disabled and 8 able-bodied. It's good, because
Yes.
I think you get that compassion going forward. As a child, if you understand something from childhood, you take it through to adulthood. So well done to you.
Thanks.
Ruby, you've explained this accident to us. You're flown off to hospital.
Sure.
Your life changes
It
like
does.
that, literally like
Dramatically.
that. And in fact, you don't even remember it.
Yeah.
I mean, it becomes such a blur
Sure.
that it's a memory that sort of, you had a life and now you've got a new
Sure.
life. What happened to you? So you...
Sure.
Talk to me about your injuries.
I broke. Interesting. I learned medical terms, so I'm like a mini doctor currently.
I'm sure you are.
My patella, which is my kneecap, I got to learn. My patella was shattered, broken entirely. I had fractured, the femur fractured at the tip as well. fractured my right foot. I've got two, what do they call it, pins inside my foot already, as we speak. And I had a fractured arm, so looked like a robot, you know, overnight.
Yeah. And okay, so from there you were wheelchair bound?
Wheelchair bound, couldn't walk. In fact, I was immobile for 2 months.
For 2 months.
I couldn't move my left leg for 7 weeks. It was restrained for 7 weeks. I couldn't move it at all.
Yeah.
You know, I used to have friends who used to basically lift up my leg if I needed to be pushed somewhere.
Yeah.
A friend of mine, Nombulelo,
helping
picking
you
up,
move
lifting, holding my foot. So that used to be my life, you know.
Okay.
They needed to turn my legs, you know, in bed, so I couldn't turn my leg by myself. You know, just finding yourself in I would call it compromising position, because now you needed to depend on everybody for everything.
Absolutely.
And being an able person who loves being independent, now you needed to get people to bring you water, wheel you to the bathroom, which was a big thing. And it was a huge change.
Through all of this, obviously, the equipment that you get is go from a wheelchair, then you had a walker, and now it's so wonderful to see you just having a walking stick.
Just
one little thing. But you gave them away.
Yeah. Well, I think, you know, for me, knowing what I'd been through and why, and, you know, the importance of having these items, like you say, first of all, from your wheelchair, being wheeled around, you know, and then advancing to a walker, being called a granny at home by my kids, advancing to a walker and then to the next thing. I remember once when I was done with them, I had basically just stored them in the garage, and then going to physio and seeing all these people that were in need and realizing, I mean, there's two types of patients in hospital. You can either, as you know, if you've broken something and you'll be healed quickly, you can either get you basically loan your wheelchair. You pay 400 Rand to loan your wheelchair from the hospital, or you loan your walking sticks and so forth. And or if you're going to be permanently then disabled, you then get given a wheelchair. Being there, it made me realize that not everyone can afford to buy these wheelchairs, not everyone can afford to buy the walkers. And knowing what I'd paid for my wheelchair, you a family living in the township, earning such little money, you basically have to, you know, juggle every day. Yeah. Should I buy bread? Should I go and rent something that I really desperately need? You don't really do that. You cannot manage to do that.
Absolutely.
And having seen the lives that have been changed, I mean, I'm saying lives on purpose because my walker is being used by several people.
Wow.
At the where I have my physio. You know, they walk around, they use it, and the wheelchair has basically changed the man's life as well because he's at home. So which is why I thought it's just one perfect thing to do, donate them, and basically ask everybody else who's out there who's got wheelchairs that are lying around, lying about, walker, anything that can assist with mobility for everybody, you know.
That's incredible.
If you can.
I'm going to ask you for details of how you do that, but first let me just, we're nearing the end of the interview.
Sure.
Gloria, for you, just some advice for parents with disabled children. You know, how do you go about it? I mean, you seem to have, you've come to terms with it, you've integrated your children. Just give some advice to other parents.
Sorry. Okay, I just want to advise especially the mothers, that having a disabled kid is not a case. God decided to give us disabled kids because He knows that we're going to love them. So let us just come out, let us just give them love. In our townships, we struggle with people who pointing fingers. It's because you are cursed, it's because you are, you know, those kind of negativities. But I just want to stress it to the mothers that they must just stop hiding their kids. We must just give them love.
Absolutely.
Yes, love covers them all.
And do you need assistance with your center? Do you need assistance?
Very much.
Okay, how do we get hold of you?
Oh, okay. They can contact me on my cell phone, which is 071.
Okay, 071.
Yes, 99.
Yeah.
77.
Yeah.
642.
642.
Yes, or I've got the email address.
Okay.
Which is dialectic. Dialectic.
Yeah.
Diketso.
Okay.
DILE
I'll tell you what, between you and I, we'll write this down in the ad break because I think we're going to run out of time. We got your number.
Okay.
I'll get it from you. Don't you worry.
Yes.
People get hold of us and we'll read it out. Okay,
Yes,
that's how to contact you.
Yes.
How do we contact you?
I'll give you my mobile number, including my email address. It's 083 741
741
5886.
5886, and your email?
It's Ruby,
Yeah.
my name, dot Bassi, which is my surname,
Okay.
at gmail.com.
Got it. All right.
Okay.
Lovely. Please help these ladies. Where's my camera? I don't even know where I'm looking. There. Please help these ladies. They're doing such unbelievable work. They really are. And if you are able to assist in any way, if you've got a wheelchair lying around or a walker, or you own a company that does these type of things, please help. Just give them a call. We'll read out these numbers and email addresses again in the next hour. Right now, however, I think it's time for weather. Andile, you standing by. It's over to you.
Well, it's just a few minutes before 7. Let's take a look at what your weather has in store for us. Looking at our satellite imagery, quite rainy start is happening over the eastern half of the country. If you're in the Gauteng province, you'll notice scattered showers are expected later on this afternoon. Also some fog patches that might decrease visibility. Otherwise, sunny and hot conditions are expected in the Northern Cape. Wind speeds up to 35 kilometers per hour from a southerly direction in the Cape Peninsula. We're also expecting a bit of rainfall along the southern coastline. We are going to see that taking us through to much of Saturday and most probably changing by Sunday. Now, looking into your warning map, we're expecting severe thunderstorms into the southeastern interior there. That's in the shade of orange. This might just be quite useful information there. Stay tuned for Rob. He's going to tell you more detail about what is happening on the roads later on. Now, looking into this morning's temperatures, 21 is your start in Musina and in Palabora, Mbombela at 19, 20 in Durban and Richards Bay, seeing a high of 20, start rather of 21. Rather mild conditions are expected over the central interior, 14 in George and in Port Elizabeth, as well as in Cape Town, with a start of 17 expected for Uppington. And later on this afternoon, very hot conditions are expected in Uppington at 38, 36 in Vryburg, Kimberley at 35, 33 in Mahikeng, as well as the early 30s are expected towards Lephalale and Musina. Polokwane at 28, it is going to get rather hot in that province, 27 in Johannesburg and 25 in Ermelo. Along the southeastern coastline, we notice temperatures are only going to reach the early 20s, 22 for Port Elizabeth, then 24 in Cape Town. Well, that's all from me for now. Do stay tuned for more on Morning Live.
SABC, sharing 20 years of inspiration.
Should marijuana be legalized in South Africa or not?
The legalization of dagga is a no to our country. Look at the rate of rape in our country because of people that
But you can't say dagga makes people
that
get
are under
raped
the
then.
influence of dagga.
When a young man comes to you and says, I'm having a problem with dagga, do you send him to jail?
We don't send them
Then
to
you already concede that you agree that prohibition is not the answer, Mr.
because
Panga.
our aim is to help them.
As is ours.
It is you helping them by giving them dagga. How are you going to control this? Just give me a chance. Because if you cannot control it now, as the CYP of South Africa, we say no to the legalization of dagga. No matter what you study, no matter what you tell me, I say no.
Watch Newsroom with me, Eben Janssen, weekdays at 9 a.m. on the SABC News channel.
Is a personal expression that evokes a flame from within.
Street art, it's a vast concept.
Dancing is one of the main art forms on the streets of Africa. Regardless of how it is done, the streets remain expressive. A passionate artist in the central business district of Johannesburg.
Yeah, I've been doing this it's been 7 years or 8 years now.
Brains lost control on what to do then. Words dispute in the mouth of a woman.
That's Kaleidoscope, Sundays, 5:30 p.m. on SABC News.